What's going on, Dan K Show fans? We're back and warming up in the studio after a chilly little outdoor game with the Albertus Magnus College Falcons. We're back in the USPHL. We're back in that USPHL groove. Dan K, Lucas Jones, tons of hockey action coming up next. What's going on? Let's get this Dan K Show underway like we always do. Dan K's three things. Thing number one, in Lansing, they're playing the greatest hits. And the greatest hit of all time just may be Dakota Hit. He's got 20 goals, 9 assists, 29 points for the Lansing Wolves, who are hot as a fox in a forest fire. The Wolvies are coming at you, man, with a little bit of those scaries. It is a fun team to watch right now, sweeping the Mavericks on the weekend. Dakota Hit leading the way, the hitman for them. Thing number two, when you reach out to the Dan K Show, you know what we do? We respond and we assist and we listen. And that's what we did. We are talking 16U and 18U netminders today on the Dan K Show, thanks to Ryan Salomon, netminder from the Springfield Picks. Thing number three, the final thing in the start of our show, Albertus Magnus College's inaugural home opener. An incredible time for an alum like myself. Tons of interviews, tons of content, and tons of work for a man that I introduced into the show. My left-hand man, my consigliere, Mon Michel, the man who just got chirped about audio for the first time in his life. A guy who apparently is a for hire, but for free tech director. He does it all, and it's Lucas Jones.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, we try to do it all.
We do.
And, we take what we can get, and we try to give it right back out to the people. And it is going to be a lot of work editing all that great Albertus content, but it's coming out really well so far. I'm super excited. By the time this video airs, we're going to have 3 big interviews out on our YouTube channel and across all social medias. We'll throw the links up underneath. And then next week, stay tuned for some bigger Albertus-related content.
That's going to be real exciting. This Albertus team, let's take a look at how it went and how it all played out. A 1-1 tie with the Anna Maria Amcats, and there was USPHL aplenty in the building. Starting with head coach of Anna Maria, Dave McCauley, a former USPHL guy in his own right. You look at the Albertus Magnus College squad. This is a team that boasts Alexander Lazier, one of our stars of the game, former USPHL born and bred. John Olson, NCDC Pal Junior Islander guy. You've got Jacob Ducharme, who's doing people harm from the New Hampshire Monarchs 18U. And Michael Forgione, NJ Hitman, USPHL 18U. 4 of the team's 12 starting forwards coming from the USPHL.
Imagine that. Imagine that, 4 of the 12 forwards.
Hi, everybody.
I wonder how that might have happened. But in any case, we're happy that they have a home under the roof of Albertus Magnus, and you couldn't have asked for a better coach in Coach Kyle Wallach. He's a guy who cares about the game. He wants things done right for the players, for the experience, and then at the end of the day, as he told us a million times on Friday, now we just got to get out there and win a hockey game, and that's what he cares about at the end of the day.
They're looking for their first win still. This team's got 2 ties already. They're 0-2-2. Not often do you start the year with 2 ties. Still looking for the first win in program history, but they're close to it. This is a young team, a young bunch, and with a netminder like Pierce Diamond, man, these guys are stellar, and looking for some W's. How do you think they get that first W? I'm guessing it's Pierce Diamond shutty.
Well, I mean, the games have all been extremely low scoring on both sides, right? So a lot of these games have been 3-1, 2-1, 3-2. So, Pierce Diamond continues this high level of play. I think once the offense gels, right? We've seen it with a couple of teams in the USPHL that when they do the big revamp and they come back through, like IHC from last season, started off not where they wanted to, and then once everybody gelled together, they really started steamrolling past opponents. So I have a feeling that this new team, this young team at Albertus Magnus, will follow in the same suit.
You said young. And that is a great transition into our next segment here of the show when we talk 16U and 18U netminders. Ryan Salomon reached out and he said, hey guys, I'd really love to see you guys really break down some of the goaltending all around the 16U level. So we thought, you know what, why not also do the 18U? Why not do a little extra? Why not take what you asked for and do extra? We've been pouring through tape, pouring through footage, pouring through stats. And first we've got to start with the guy who reached out and helped out his fellow 16U netminders by reaching out to us to cover his team. And make sure you reach out to the Dan K Show, www.dankshow.com, to get us to do this for whoever you want us to talk about. Ryan Salomon, Lucas, 4-1 on the year. Talk through his stats so far.
Yeah, well, Ryan Salomon is it's amazing that he reached out, right? Because he has kind of the skill set right now that you look for in a goaltender, and he wants to see his other goaltenders, his other friends down there in that league get the same exposure. We talk about Ryan Salomon playing for the Springfield Picks right now. Like you said, 4-1 in 5 games played, a 1.32 goals against average, .946 save percentage, which you mentioned, Dan. That's something that is really, really important to kind of hone in on, because the percentage only tells you the ratio, right? It doesn't tell you the amount of shots he's faced, the amount of goals he's given up. He's given up 6 goals in 5 games. He saved 112 pucks in 5 games. That is an absolutely insane amount of shots and an insane amount of saves. So you look at a guy like Ryan Salomon, he's a guy who's comfortable in net, he knows what he's doing, he loves to play in the crease as well. He doesn't get out there a lot, but you also like to see that, especially in a young goaltender.
What I love about Ryan Salomon, watching some footage of how this young netminder plays, it's a strong glove, right? The glove hand is strong. He gets involved when there's bodies in front, when there's traffic in front of his net. He's one of those guys that takes control of the puck. He's going to the puck with that glove. He's controlling that game, controlling that situation. The rebound tries just aren't there against Salomon. He's a guy that's it's first time is a charm. You got to score on him first look. You're not getting a lot of that rebound opportunity, flashy move. This is a guy who's post to post. He's strong. He's where he's supposed to be in his crease. And that's really, for a scout at home, all you want to ask for out of a young netminder. This age, there's so much more that can be done as these guys grow, they mature, they come to that full size that they're going to get to, and that full athletic ability and those capabilities flash all the way out. Right now, it's about being in the right place, being at the right time, and that's what this kid does every single game out.
Exactly. And another goaltender I think worth mentioning right now is Trey Matern from the Jersey Shore Whalers. A lot of times we like to really harp on that save percentage, right, as a measure of how good a goaltender is. But sometimes the stats don't always tell the story. So you look at Trey Matern, another great goaltender, right now in 11 games, 7 wins, 2 losses, a couple of overtime losses there, which are always kind of difficult to stomach as a goaltender. But he's one of these guys that as he continues to improve, as he continues to find that comfort level in the net, you'll see that save percentage start to creep up a little bit, Dan. And he's made an absolute ton of saves as well. He's given up a few more goals, but recently he's done very well, winning his most recent game on November 9th. You love to see that improvement throughout the season. I think Trey Matern is going to be one of those goaltenders that ends up making a few jumps in his career.
I also like Gregory Addison with the Charleston Colonials. He's only had 2 starts for us so far, but a .962 saves percentage. This young man with the Charleston Colonials, you got a chance to see him play at the Hitmen Showcase, and he's another one that you're confident about where he's going to be. And he's got a little bit more flash to him in the save. He'll give you a little bit more of that trepidation at times to make the big stop, but you love it, man. You love a fearless netminder, and Gregory Addison is that fearless netminder, man. He gets his nose involved in a lot of big situations, makes some big stops for the Charleston Colonials. Lucas, I couldn't go away without talking about a man who's burning him up. It's Kieran Byrne, man. And this young man, 1-1 on the year. He's got a .941. Do you have anybody else you wanted to talk about in there?
Oh, I think that wraps up the 16U, Dan. But as I was diving into the 18U a little bit earlier today, I knew who I wanted to start our 18U discussion with. And I wanted to start our 18U discussion with Hunter Thomas from the Skipjacks Hockey Club. 6-0-1 on the season right now, 7 games played, sporting a .951 save percentage, under 1 goal a game average. And
you're never going to lose when you give up less than a goal.
Mathematically, if you give up less than a goal, you cannot lose. But Hunter Thomas is a guy that is immediately dependable. You know that his teammates can push the issue. We always say that what does a good goaltender create? Creates opportunities on the other end, because it allows your guys to play a little bit deeper in the zone. They're not afraid to get tied up on the board battles, because they know that if it comes down to a 1-on-none or a 2-on-1 situation, they know their goaltender is confident and competent in net.
Yeah, and you talk about competent, man. Hunter Thomas is Skipjack's Hockey Club 18U level. They churn out collegiate commits. They churn out next level guys. That's exactly what you're looking at there. I go down the list here a little bit, and I go to the Twin City Lightning and Derek Trudeau, a true beauty behind the bench for this side. This is a Twin City Lightning team that they rely heavily on Decker Keeley. And Keeley is 4-1-1 on the year, a .944 saves percentage, a 1.5 goals a game against him. He's got 2 shutouts. Decker Keeley is a guy who, he's really decking them out there in net. He makes stops. He's long. He's 5'11", 160, long for the Euro 1 right now. Probably got another inch or two to grow here before it's all over. This is a guy who, your Twin City Lightning, that whole organization, Twin City Thunder, Twin City Lightning, they love to rely on the net out. They like the net front presence, and then they build from there, and that's what you can do with a guy like Decker Keeley.
Yeah, and I think one more goaltender to kind of touch on here is Cameron Holbrook from the Hitmen 18U squad. The record isn't quite there yet. The record is 2-2-1 at this point in 5 games played, but I think he's got the stats to back it up, and you talk about churning out talent. The Hitmen, that's what they do, right? Yep. You situate yourself in that Hitmen organization, and they will give you the skills if you're willing to put in the work. And right now, Cameron Holbrook is a rookie for this team. I think he's a rising star for the Hitmen.
He really is, man. You look through this league, and you can see Creed Goshorn, another guy with a .933. There's so much talent throughout the 18U and 16U. It's hard to talk about it all, but you let us know at home. What do you think we're missing? What do you want us to talk about? Again, www.dankshow.com, or slide into our DMs on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at @the_DanK Be a part of the show. Help us program this thing. But we've got some more good programming for you coming up next, because Lucas, after the break, we're going to talk about a Connecticut Junior Rangers upset at the NCDC level, and maybe a little Midwest hockey.
You are watching The Dan K Show. Everything USPHL. From the NCDC to the Premier and Elite Leagues. The Dan K Show with Dan K and Lucas Jones.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to start off this segment by talking about an upset alert. Definitely ring the bell for this one.
Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo.
Because this was an impressive win for the Connecticut Junior Rangers. A low-scoring affair between the Rangers and the Hitmen, giving the Hitmen their first overtime loss not in a shootout. Which honestly is amazing in context that we're talking about, okay, so 2 teams beat them in a shootout. Now a team finally beat them before the shootout. It's like we're chipping away at this giant mountain of a team.
No regulation losses yet for this side in 20 games played. They sit in first place, but do not sleep on the Connecticut Junior Rangers and Coach Jim Henkel. He's got these inspirational workout vids he's been posting to his Instagram story. I've been following along with. I can't keep up with him in the gym, but I can keep up with him in the mental game and in the heart category. I'm trying to keep it with them right now. But this is a team that is 12-3-4. Those 4 overtime losses, you split those, you just take 2 more of those, you're up to 30 points. You have a game in hand on the Hitmen still. This Junior Rangers team is the real deal, folks. And I think a guy who we think is the real deal, Jin Lee, had a big say in that overtime win.
Yeah, it was kind of a Dan K Show special, because the first goal of the game scored by Reed Miller. Second goal of the game scored by Mickey Burns. There's a 1-1 tie. And then in overtime, Jin Lee, who we talked about at length on the Dan K Show, both on the broadcast, on the show, whenever we get a chance, because this guy is 125% pure hustle. He has the skill, he's got the hustle, he's got the work ethic. He's a huge favorite, I think, of the Dan K Show.
He really is, man. And all these guys, they just play the game so hard for the Connecticut Junior Rangers. Jim Henkel's a guy who he doesn't allow a lack of effort, right? If he sees it, he stops it, he nips it in the bud, and that's what you get. And you want to talk about a guy who is the quintessential Jim Henkel player, it's Jin Lee. And this is a kid who plays with 110% effort on every shift, every second, every period. He is non-stop, he is never ending, an absolutely relentless athlete, and being relentless is the best describing word you can be called in any sport.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's such a good way for to describe him, and I think Coach Jim Henkel will definitely take relentless over a lot of other descriptive words because he knows that from his run last season, right, that what it takes guys who are willing to go that extra mile, right,
Yep.
guys who are willing to push past what they think they can do. Jim Lee is that player. Connecticut Junior Rangers are full of those players, and if you want to go back and watch this game, you definitely should. That second period was a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on in that second period. Like 2 goals, more penalties than you can shake a stick at, a couple of 5-minute majors in there, but that was a really fun game to watch.
Exactly, and you know what's a really fun division to watch right now? It is the Midwest West in the Premier, and we've talked about it a couple of times. We do our Midwest Mondays to try to get some more coverage to the folks out in the Midwest who we don't get to be in their barns as often as the folks out here in the East. But this Midwest West division right now is an absolute coin flip. And yet again, the Dan K Show Midwest curse has reared its ugly head, where the Dan K Show puts a Midwest West squad in its top 10 in the power rankings, and they go out and get beat by someone we left out. And this time, it was the Rum River Mallards taking it to the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. They've won 4 straight, and now Rum River sits at 12-3-1, just 2 points out of the top spot.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, you talk about the top 4, right? You've got the Minnesota Moose and the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings tied at 27 points. They've got 7 wins, 2 losses, and 1 overtime loss in their last 10 games.
Yep.
Then you go to 3 and 4. Rum River Mallards, 25 points, 12-3. Hudson Havoc, 12-4-1. Both teams are 25 points, but then they're almost equal in their last 10 games as well. Rum River 7-2-1, Hudson Havoc 7-3-0. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at the top 4 spots in the Midwest West Division, separated by a game.
Yep.
And who have had nearly identical past 10 game streaks.
And don't forget about the rest of this division. All the way down to right now the Rochester Vipers. Every team has been in every game. It is the Mullets at 9-6-2. The Blue Ox can take it to anybody in this league. The Blades and the Ducks, man, they're out there. This is a division that there is not an off night. And these teams are going to be heavily tested by the time you reach nationals. And as long as you're not worn down from that test, this Midwest West may have a chance this year to raise that cup, to get the cup back for the first time since the Dells Ducks went and raised that cup.
Yeah, if you are not ready for the Midwest West towards the end of the season, you are going to get a very rude awakening from some of these other divisions, right? Because sometimes you look at the Midwest and you think, oh, these guys are defense only. Absolutely wrong. These guys are some of the most potent offensive talent throughout the entire USPHL Premier. I'm really looking forward to January, February.
Yep.
Because if what I'm seeing continues to hold, January, February will show you not if a Midwest team is going to make it, but which ones and how many are going to make it as far into the playoffs as possible, because it is absolutely incredible hockey.
January, February is my favorite month of the year. It really is. January, February, or Jan-Feb, as they call it for short, is just, it's a beautiful time. It's a wonderful time. And New Year's Valentine's is also my favorite holiday. All right, I guess that's it. I mean, the Minnesota Moose, to close it out, 5 points at a 6 on the weekend. They take the top spot back. You're welcome for not putting you in our top 10, because that's why you did it. That's exactly why you did it. We take the Moose out of our top 10 power rankings. They go up to the first spot. We put Wisconsin Rapids River Kings in the top 10. They lose. This is what happens. You're welcome to everybody in the Midwest West who we don't put in our top 10 power rankings. Apparently that's the best place to be. But the even better place to be is the empty net, the best portion of every show where we talk to you, the viewer. Welcome to the empty net. Welcome to the empty net, our favorite segment of every show where we talk to you, the viewer, and you talk to us at _DanK Show, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Best place to find us? Usually Twitter, because I'm scrolling through that all day long. Let's start with one of my favorite tweets that we've gotten from President Camille, the president of Albertus Magnus College. We got a chance to meet. Great guy, Lucas. Incredible guy. and really doing a lot of great things with my former school, my alma mater. Lucas, it was your first time really being within the culture of Albertus, and I hope you had a good time. I hope I was a good host for you. Lucas had to go up there and basically work without me for most of the night because of traffic, because it takes 9 hours to get anywhere in this area. But President Camille said, great to have you at the home opener, and as an alumnus, you know how special this life-elevating college is, as I do. Hope to see you at many more Falcons hockey and hoops games this winter. Will the Dan K Show make the trek into basketball broadcasting? Stay tuned. Lucas, I'd be down for that.
I would absolutely be down for that.
One problem is, if we do basketball, I'm going to have to do like the Marv Albert, Mike Breen. I'll do the Mike Breen. Bang! But then you are going to have to wear the crazy suit like Walt Clyde to Glide Frazier and talk about, ooh, alley-oop.
As long as I get to extensively stock my closet with tweed and plaid suits, because I've honestly always wanted to make that switch and see what that world is like. I would absolutely do hoops games if for no other reason than I could justify buying a closet full of tweed suits.
Clyde to Glide with the spinning and winning. That is one of my favorite calls in the game of basketball. But we'll see. We'll keep you posted if the Dan K Show goes basketball. Maybe we'll start diversifying our funds and our portfolios. Let's move on here to the Aviator Hockey Club. Joe Sokoa reached out to the Dan K Show with an incredible goal call from a big-time OT game winner for the Aviators Elite. Listen in.
Again, pinned in the boards. Back into the possession of the hitman, it's Boda. Boda has it now. Savov gets off the ice. Laglia comes on. Medeiros and Werner stay on. Andrews has it now as the hitmen make a change. Andrews find Kenevi. Kenevi centering pass in front. Boda trying to get a backhanded try and it's knocked away. And now it's a skate. It's a race for the puck. It's Werner on a breakaway. Werner in all alone. He shoots. He scores! Werner wins it in overtime. 4-3. Aviator over the hitmen.
Big time goal. Even better call from Joe Sokoa with the beautiful pipes up there. Talk about a guy who has put the puck between the goal pipes a few too many times at this point, man. TJ Dugan. Congratulations, TJ Dugan of the Decatur Blaze, formerly of the Chicago Cougars, USPHL, born and bred. TJ Dugan's 200th career point, and he, Lucas, made it on the local news.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Congratulations to TJ Dugan. You know, you love the work that he's doing out there, an incredibly successful career, and we're going to keep following.
We really are, man. This is a guy who, for this Decatur Blaze team, everything flows through TJ Dugan. For a scout at home, if you've not taken a chance to tune into a Decatur Blaze game on Hockey TV or get out to a Decatur Blaze game during one of these showcases or one of his local games, this is a young man who can immediately come in and be a game changer for you. This kid's fast, he's speedy, he gets to the puck, he kills penalties for him, he's on the power play and he's top line for both. He is the guy in Decatur, and you got to get a chance, got to get your eyes on him. This kid needs to be at the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. He's one of those guys that you absolutely have to check out. You're right on that one, Dan. I mean, you know, you talk about all those things and you add in the fact that he's hockey ready right now. He's had the experience of playing against so many teams, playing with so many different kinds of players. You're absolutely right. He can make an immediate impact.
Lucas telling me I'm absolutely right. What I'm absolutely right about now is that is it for the show. So I look to my left and I say, Lucas, your parting words, good sir. Ooh, he's going to zip up. I would never do that because I would zip my beard hairs into my chin and it would hurt and I'd be tearing up as this show closed. When Dan K is on the mic, it is always hockey night. Jump down, hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell, and keep watching the Dan K Show each and every week. Watch out for us at the Islanders Hockey Club Showcase this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, a 6-game broadcast schedule from Merrimack.
I would love to do basketball.
Dude, basketball is it. I play by the public address announcement back in the day. I used to do the PA for Albertus Magnus, and I used to, when the 1-and-1s were my favorite, I would say, he's going to do 1 if he made 1. And he said, he's going to do 2. And then people would go, Frank the Tank in the crowd when I would do that. Frank the Tank. It was wonderful.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be down. I mean, like I said, I'm mostly in it for the suits, but, I mean, basketball is a fun time. Also, a little secret I'll let you in on. Absolutely pulled beard hairs out on that. That was a mistake.